everybody, what's going on? This is Ben with Warhammer Fantasy, and this is Game 1 of Southern Assault. So, um, I took pictures of my army in anticipation of using those pictures to show you my army. Um, I have forgotten since to put them on and do like a separate thing for it, so you're just going to have to deal with it. So anyways, my first game was a grudge match against. His name is Gray Williams, but on the forums he goes by Gray Gork. He's using some orc models as Saurian Ancients. So, and I think he's got two Tyrscutuses. He's got his Temple Guard, his Spears, Weapons Beasts. Some Skinks, and I think only he's got his Engine of the Ancients. I think that's his BSB. But we'll go through all the lists, the stuff in just a minute. So it was a standard battle line deployment with secure target as the objective. This is first game, obviously. So I've got my two Dread Reapers, my two units of repeater crossbows with champion musicians. I've got my Kraken, my other repeater crossbow with the Dark Riders are next to him with shields and repeater crossbows. Then I've got my Harpies in the back, which are the frogs. My General is, you can see his red face. He's a squid looking dude. He's in with another 11 RAs with Musician and Champion. Then I got my 28 Executioners with the Flaming Standard. And my BSB is on the altar. He's got the Executioner's Blade, Divine Icon, Obsidian Rock, Lucky Shield, and yeah, I think it's it. That unit has full command. Then I have another unit of Dark Riders over there. So anyways, this is how I deployed. On his side, he's got, these are not the guys that drop rocks. These are just the regular guys. I thought they were the ones who dropped rocks. So they were my primary target, and I wanted to get one of them dead. So he's got those two. He's got this Skinks with bows in the back. A Weapons Beast is a squig shooter guy. The Temple Guard are the orcs on the Raptors. He's got his BSB, which is the Engine of the Ancients guy, which I hate with a passion. Then he's got his orcs, which are proxied for the spearmen. And then he's got two Tyrscutuses, which I'm not really worried about. None of this really worries me, honestly. There's the only things that need to really die are the two flying units and the two weapons beasts. Nothing else here can match me in combat with my unit, my big block. So anyways, these are the vanguards here. I vanguarded there, and the other unit didn't vanguard. So on to first turn. I moved around like so. These guys moved over just a tad. Magic was a wash, so didn't show anything there. This guy shoots. In fact, most of my shooting, I think this hit and killed two guys outright with the multi-shot. Because they had a 3-up, what was it, a 5? He failed all of his 5-up ward saves, or 5-up armor saves and ward saves. And they just exploded. These guys shoot and only do 1 wound here. This is what the board looks like. Who's on his turn? 1. So he moves up cautiously. I would be too. Now I'm going to tell you this right now. This BSB did not fail a single 5-up ward save. I hit him with my bolt throwers from this turn until the last turn. And just so you know, that's 3 bolt thrower shots, hitting with 2 of them for the next 4 turns. It's not just the bolt thrower shots, it's my magic. I made him flammable, hit him with molten copper, hit him with freaking quicksilver lash, all of it. He gets a 5-up ward save against ranged attacks, so it's everything that's not close combat. I must have hit this BSB 15 to 20 times, and he saved a 5-up every single time. The only thing that did a wound to him, I did 1 wound to him, and that was for my Kraken. My Kraken does D3 wounds, and I got a fucking 1. Fuck this BSB. Anyways, let's move on. He does magic, corruption of tin, drops an armor save once. I don't really care. This guy does a fireball, kills 2. They pass the panic. And that is what the board looks like overall after bottom of 1. Top of 2. After movement, this is what it looks like over here and over here. My general idea on this one is just to move my executioners up, because I want to bring my executioners in from one side and just move them across. And the way I'm hoping to do that is to just keep my Dark Riders in front of his guys, because he doesn't want to charge them, because that'll put me really close, and I can just, fly in there. I wouldn't worry about the DTs. I really don't care. And I'd kill him, and since his BSB is there, I'd overrun into his BSB. And then he would probably, well, either way, he'd probably just do a bunch of charges and stuff like that. But if he charged my Dark Riders, he's got the flank with his BSB, he's got the flank with both the Tire Scutuses, and the front with his Spearmen. So if he decides to charge with any of that, he's getting charged next turn, and he knows that, so he doesn't charge him. Move the Dark Riders up with the intention to chaff up those monsters so that I can wipe everything else out, because they don't matter to me. Harpies come up over here just to kind of screen the flank, just in case the Dark Riders don't do their job or get wiped out in the process. Magic Phase, but Ward of Iron here, just so I can make this guy flammable. I shoot, makes all of his ward saves, because fuck me. Goddamn BSBs. Engines of the Ancients. Assholes. Meanwhile, I can't make a single 5-up ward save to save my fucking life. Literally. So this is him measuring out the 5-up ward save and all that other stuff. I think this was the end of turn 2. Yep, we got a bottom of turn 2. He moves everybody up kind of like this, kind of shuffles everything around. Does a Pyroclastic Flow and takes out all but one of my Dark Riders over there. He passes Panic because the BSB is right next to him. Got an 18-inch bubble. Moves on to my turn 3. I'm charging my Kraken in, and this is where the Kraken does the 1 wound to his fucking BSB. I was hoping to, because I'm hitting him on 3s and winning him on 3s. So it's pretty good odds that if I get lucky, I could kill him in 1 round, because he's only got 6 wounds on him. So if I do, 2 hits, 2 wounds, or 3 hits, 2 wounds, or whatever, chances of me rolling 6 wounds is slim, but possible, in the realms of possibility. So I said, fuck it. I really don't care. It's a 360-point monster. I don't care. I've got tons of other shooting. This is my mentality at this point. Is I'm like, I've got tons of other shooting. If he doesn't make it, whatever. I could do as much damage as I possibly can. I'm going first. And if I do that, I get some wounds off. Cool. Makes him easier to kill. with shooting and magic. So I make it in. His BSB is still flammable. I'm going to be trying to give my Kraken Glory of Gold, I think. But it fails to go off. This is after movement and everything. My Harpies, as you can see, are up here. And I plan on putting them into the flank of those Saurus warriors. Do Quicksilver Lash over here, do 1 wound. These guys shoot, kill off 2 here, and I do 1 wound onto this guy. Like I said I would. I do 1 wound. Now, I don't think it would have mattered, but I could have reformed as far over as possible, tip to tip, as closely as I could to that building, which could have prevented this next thing from happening. So my little wings prevented that, but I could have moved over further, prevented his guys from charging into my flank, and it would have just been his birds that couldn't charge into my front. Yeah, I probably should have moved him all the way over. Oh well, live and learn. Over here he's charging this guy. He makes it in with everybody, obviously. Weren't very long charges. Let's see. I can't remember what else he did with his movement. Oh, that's right, he did this. He moved the Saurus warriors a little bit closer. He wheeled them a little bit more. I believe his shooting killed this off, or maybe his magic. These guys are shooting. Okay, yeah, so that's probably magic, and then shooting did this right here. He only killed 1. I didn't do anything back. These guys, I think... Oh, he killed off my Dark Rider and just kind of reformed. And he kills off the Kraken, as I figured. And he reformed like so. These little Pterodon Rider guys, they have Frenzy, so they had to overrun. My turn 4. I am charging my Harpies into the flank of his Saurus warriors. And I am charging, and we checked it, it was in the flank. I know it doesn't look like it from this picture angle, but it was definitely the flank. So I go into the Saurus warriors in the flank, and I go into the front of the Thyrscutus with my Executioners, so that I can kill the Thyrscutus in 1 turn, run into the Saurus warriors, and get another round of combat against the Saurus warriors, and kill them as well. So I make it in with both. Honestly, I probably could have done this a little bit better. And by probably could have done this a little bit better, meaning I should have reformed those 2 Dark Riders out of the way. I think that was it there. Rest of my movement. To be honest, I probably should have moved the rightmost RAs. I should have moved them closer to the field and tried to keep them alive as long as possible. Move my general out behind the stone wall and just keep moving him further and further away, and then casting my magic on everybody, and then slowly marching my repeaters over to the objective. But it didn't, because I'm a dumbass. So go ahead and put Order of Iron on here. I kill off the Pterodon Riders, and then I do a lot of damage to these guys with magic. He's got 6 left, and his general. Over here, goes as expected, everything dies, and then I run into the last Thyrsketus. Yeah, I think that was it. And let's see. This guy. This son of a bitch is what causes me to not get the objective. But also my own dumbass fault. So this is what it looks like overall. And yes, I'm drinking. And yes, it is only about 9:50 in the morning. It was on his turn 1. Or his turn 4. That is a 4. So he charges the repeater bolter and fails. Thank God. Gives me some more shots. Moves his weapons beast into the water. And I think that was pretty much it. He puts corruption at 10 here. I only get +1 on my armor save instead of +2. He did transmutation of lead. Doesn't really matter. I lose my strength bonuses to my great weapons, but I'm rerolling my hits and rerolling my wounds. And I get lethal strike. And I've got 9 guys into him, plus my BSB and the altar. So, make short work of him, and I just pivot. That goes on my turn 5. I do the reroll charge ranges, and I try to charge the temple guard. And I needed like an 11. If I would have made this 11, this game would have been completely different. Number 1, I would have won. Even bigger than I did. Because I would have ran into those guys, killed them off first round, and then I would have overrun into the BSB. Challenge out the BSB with my BSB, kill off his BSB. And then all he'd have left is the 2 weapons beasts and his skinks. I would be contesting the objective and I'd have a shit ton of points. But it didn't happen like that, so let's continue. I decided to do what I should have done 2 turns ago and move my general behind the wall and then start moving my RAs over towards the field to contest the objective. I mean, honestly, I probably could have just moved my executioners over there and contested the objective. Or I probably could have just charged his weapons beast. I can't remember if it was in range or not. Anyways, he comes over here and shoots off molten copper, kills 2. And I don't think anything else really happened. Oh, I know what happened. That fucking BSB made every goddamn ward save from all 3 of my bolt throwers that hit him on 3s. All of them hit on 3s, all of them wounded on 3s, and he made all 3 fucking ward saves. Yes. A 5-5 and a 6. This was every fucking turn. He did this. Every turn. So anyways, his turn 5. Charges in, he's going to make them all. And this is where I lose the objectives, and yeah, you'll see. So he comes in. He makes short work of my bolt thrower. I challenge out his BSB. The other guys over here, I didn't put up the lethal strike banner. Or lethal strike aura. So, and I wasn't rerolling my 1s to wound because I completely forgot about that. It was just a mess. I mean, I remained steadfast for this. The RA's here and the RA's there and the RA's on the next to the building. Maybe I didn't remain steadfast. Look at that. But I still stuck around. I know that for a fact. Over here, he killed this guy, and I died out. Overruns, and he's an inch away. He needed a 12 to get into the flank there. Let's let's see. I don't know why I took another picture of this. These guys shoot, kill off one. And then my turn 6. I did the reroll charge ranges again, and I made it into the flank here. Those guys are fucking toast. And I move him over here in a last-ditch effort to get off Molten Copper to... And I was trying to panic that unit off. And if I was successful in panicking that unit off, it would have been it probably would have been like a 13-7, maybe a 14-6, but it ended up turning out to be a 12-8, I think. Let's see. He's killed them. Overall of the board. His turn 6. He's just going to kill off that unit. Then he kills off the Harpies. So, he can't cast magic because the magic is dead. Over here, I think he kills off this whole unit because I ran. Yeah, so he kills off all those units. And he has his BSB, his 2 Weapons Beasts, and his Skinks left. Okay, so it turned out to be a 14-6. He got plus 3 points. I got minus 3 points because he got the objective. But a few lessons here. Always have a unit that could jump on that fucking objective. Objectives are so... They determine so much in terms of if you're going to win or not. Like, I really need to get my my objectives in order. This next list that I made is I think going to be pretty nice. I just got to figure a few things out as to what I'm going to do. But yeah, I'll go over that later. I'm going to be doing the rest of the reports. I'm going to try and do one every night. But if I don't, they're not going to be released every night, but, you know, in the next few weeks, I'll have all these put out. And hopefully have a few others ready to go as well. So, with that being said, I will see you guys later, and get ready for the next battle report, because it's against none other than Saurian fucking Ancients again. Alright, peace.